Then we'll move to the 6.1. The Six Sigma approach. Six Sigma approach. Six Sigma approach. Right. Now you have some idea about the requirement in Six Sigma. To achieve the Six Sigma status, you want to ensure number of defects unit you are going to have should be less than 3.4 defects per 1 million unit. That is your requirement. Now, how can we achieve Sigma status in organizations? Under this approach, we are going to discuss how practically we are going to use this approach. Now, first of all, what we have to do is we have to identify an opportunity. We have to identify an opportunity where identify an opportunity where you can use the Six Sigma approach. Six Sigma approach. You identify an opportunity where Six Sigma approach can be used. That will be the first thing you have to do. Then you have to define what is the existing problem you encounter, or in other words, the existing problem you face. Based on that, you have to set the targets also. You have to set the target also. For example, a good example for you. Suppose within our manufacturing process, we always experience some product defects. We have found that when we manufacture 1 million unit, normally we experience 100 defects units. 100 defects units. This is a problem. Do you agree with my problem? My point actually. Do you agree? So when you manufacture 1 million unit, we experience 100 defects units. Now, we can set a targets. That should be the starting point. To achieve the Six Sigma status, what we want to ensure, number of defects we are going to have should be less than 3.4 defects per 1 million unit. We'll say the target, we'll say for example, we are going to set a target. Target is to ensure 3 defects for 1 million unit produced. 3 defects per 1 million unit produced. At present, we experience 100 defects unit. Now we are going to set a target. Our target is to reduce this 100 defects unit down to 3 defects per 1 million units. That is our targets. Right? Now we have objective, no? What is the objective we have? Objective is to reduce number of defects from 100 to 3. per 1 million unit. Now, to carry out this exercise, now we can't achieve this one, right, without having a proper approach, no? To achieve this target, what we'll do is, we will form a project team. We'll appoint a project team to do this exercise. We'll appoint a project team to do this exercise. Project team will be decided, right? Will be assigned for this particular exercise. Project team. Normally project team members can consist of 3 types of members. It can include 3 types of members. Master black belt, master black belt, then green belt. It can consist of 3 types of members: master, black belt, then the green belt. If you look at about these 3 types of people included, master black belt is a permanent position in the organizations. Master black belt is a permanent position in the organizations. This is a permanent position in the organizations. The permanent position mean they are not going to involve in other operational activities. Their task is to engage with Six Sigma exercises on permanent basis. Within the organization, what they do is, they will not involve with the operational work. Their work is only to work with the Six Sigma project. Permanently, we have allocated them for the Six Sigma project. Right? Master black belt. And normally you know the difference between black belt and the master, no? Am I correct? Here, black belt means not karate black belt. Huh? Don't think it's a karate black belt. Right? So, what is the difference between the graduate and master? If I take very simple example, we say Mutaya Muralidharan is a master bowler. We say Sachin Tendulkar is a master batsman. We say Sangakkara is a master batsman. Right? We say Virat Kohli is a master batsman. But we never say Kusal Mendis is a master batsman. Why we are not saying Kusal Mendis is not a master batsman? The reason is he may have the class, no? He may have the talent. But to become a master, it will take a lot of times, no? With the experience, you will become a master. He also similar. Right? So, initially people are actually their career in Six Sigma started with the green belts. Right? When they have work as green belt from time to time, right? They will get some knowledge on that. Then they will become black belt. Right? When they work as black belt for so many years, they will become master black belts. These master black belts are the masters. Right? They have a specialized knowledge in Six Sigma exercises. Right? Their main job is to act as teachers and give the required guidelines for organizational members. Right? The black belt is someone, again, black belt is also permanent position. Permanent position. And they normally act as the team leaders. They are team leaders. team leaders in Six Sigma exercises. Team leaders in Six Sigma exercises. You should not watch matches now these days. I also watched the match until 1:30. You so know what that guy did, no? So does not have the professionalism, no? The difference, no? So what you have to do actually? Such players should be dropped actually immediately, because how many times you have given the opportunity, no? So if you watch the match from beginning to end, you may have seen he score only 0 after consuming 6 balls. That means 1 over, right? 1 over. පළවෙනි ඕවරේම ගැහුවේ මිනිස්සයානේ. මම බලන් හිටියා පළවෙනි ඕවර ඉවරෙද්දී එක විකට් එකයි no marks. It was stump එකක් අතහැරියා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දකින්න නැති නේ. stump එකක් අතහැරියා. 3 stumps, no? That guy ultimately score more marks actually, right? And අන්තිමේදී ඕනම run out එක දැන් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉස්සරහට ඇවිල්ලා බෝල් එක අරගෙන මෙහෙම ගහන්න බෑනේ. අර මිනිස්සයා තව එන ඈතනේ හිටියේනේ. දැන් මේ ඈතින්ලා ගහන්න නැතුවනේ. So the basics, no? It doesn't have the basics, no? You have to drop it actually. Strict. Because ඕන තරම් ඉන්නවා මේ හොඳ wicket keeper මේ young level එකේ ඉන්නවා ඕන තරම්, right? So you have to give opportunity for them, no? You should not persist with the same guy for long period, no? So if they don't have the required professionalism, right? So here, so they normally work as a team leader. They also have a good knowledge in Six Sigma exercise, not like they don't have the master knowledge actually, but they have the knowledge. Now I say they are also permanent position, no? Permanent position mean, are they involved in operational work? No. They also full time involved in the project, Six Sigma project works. Six Sigma project work. But green belt is different. This green belt position are not permanent. It's a temporary position. These are temporary position. Temporary position. These are temporary position. Temporary position. Or a temporary position. Temporary position mean until you complete the work, you are a member. So after work is completed, they back to their normal operation works. That's why temporary position work mentioned. පැහැදිලි කෙනෙක්. දැන් මේ Six Sigma project එකක් යද්දී මෙයාව తాවකාලිකව මේ project එකට දානවා. ඒ project work එක ඉවර වුණාට පස්සේ මෙයා මොකද කරන්නේ? Six Sigma project එකකට ආයෙත් involve වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එයා මොකද කරන්නේ? එයාගේ සාමාන්‍ය වැඩේට involve වෙන්න යනවා. That's why I use the word temporary position. They are the team members actually. They are the team members. They are the team members. They are the team members of a project. Team members of a project. So these green belt members will be decided based on the nature of the project. You say it's a production project. You are having a project, production project. In that case, majority members will be selected from the production department. It is decided based on the nature of the project, right? So if you look at about this scenario, you see master back belt, maybe possibly one person may act as a master back belt, maybe at the top. Under him, there may be, you'll say there are 3 projects going on, Six Sigma project going on in the organization. There will be 3 projects going on. It's a black belt, right? Under them, you can find in a project, you can find a green belt persons. They are temporary appointed for the projects. So in this example, 3 Six Sigma project is going on. There are 3 black belt who act as a leaders in the each project. Then you can see some of the green belt person also. They are the members, right? Clear this story? පැහැදිලි මේකේ කාරණේ. The green belt කියලා කියන්නේ දැන් අපි project එකක් start කරද්දී project එකේ involve වෙන area එක දිහා බලලා අපි ඒ project එකෙන් කීප දෙනෙක් appoint කරගන්නවා. Right? So that will be green belt. For example, today morning I got a call, no? I got a call from my office because I was appointed for some project, similar to Six Sigma project. Right, similar to Six Sigma project, what has happened is from my department I have been appointed, so that is relevant with the foreign branch to improve the foreign branch operation, one of the foreign branch we have. So we have to design some of the new circulars to manage their operations. Then what they have done is, I am not a permanent person, it's a temporary person. To do that work, I have been appointed from our side. Then another guy has been appointed like main department, compliance, then overseas branches, another guy like that. A team has been formed. Their work is to design new circulars to manage the operation in that particular foreign branch. Right? So it's not a permanent position. It's a temporary position. I have been appointed on temporary basis on that particular project. Clear? This what is this green belt? Green belt mean right, temporary you appoint based on the nature of the project work, right? Based on the nature of the project work, you appoint them, right? Then black belt, not like that. Initially, actually, what happened? Initially, they have worked as green belt. As time they may have involved in few green belt project, Six Sigma project actually, as green belt members. Then after 3 to 4 projects, sometime top management may recognize this guy is really good guy. He can have a good future in this project work, Six Sigma project work. Then top management may ask why you are operating, working in that particular operation department, why you are not becoming a permanent member in the Six Sigma project. Right? Then green belt එකපාරටම යන්න බෑ. කාලයක් තිස්සේ අවුරුදු 10ක් 15ක් වැඩ කරලා එක එක project වල එන්නාට පස්සේ කාලයකට පස්සේ මෙයා දක්ෂයි කියලා අඳුර ගන්නවා. අඳුරකට පස්සේ යාට කියනවා black belt permanent විදිහට මේ වැඩේට involve වෙන්න කියලා. So when you are working as black belt by giving the leadership for few project, after some time maybe retiring ළඟ වෙද්දි තමයි මොකද වෙන්නේ? master black belt වෙන්නේ. So when you are nearing to your retirement age, you may become a master black belts. Clear story? Right. So we'll look at about that Six Sigma approach. Six Sigma approach. Look at the basic objective with Six Sigma is to focus on improvement in processes and a reduction in variation from the target standard. Now look at that one. You are focused on improvement in processes. That is one objective. Other one is reduction in variation from the target standard. You see in example, the target standard is 3 now. So we want to reduce the variation and to make sure you meet that particular standard. Perfection is achieved by reducing the amount of variation in a process. You try to reduce that variations too. For example, defects should be reduced. For example, if a product is designed to have a length of exactly 1 meter, that's the standard we try to achieve, 1 meter. Six Sigma improvement might be aimed at reducing the variation in the length of product actually manufactured to acceptable tolerance limit of say plus or minus 1 millimeter. Correct, no? You know 1 millimeter mean 1 million, no? එහෙම නේද අර බිඳු 3ව 3ක් එනවා නේද? 6 නේ? Right? So our target is exactly 1 meter. Then our objective here is to tolerance limits plus or minus 1 millimeter, no? With no more than 3.4 items in 1 million actually produce having a length outside this tolerance range. Then make අමාරුණ example එක තේරුම් ගන්න අර මං කිව්ව example එක. So here the 3.4 unit, no? That's the target we have. 1 million unit produced, 3.4 defects. Right. 3 items in 1 million actually produced having a length outside this tolerance range. The Six Sigma approach rely heavily on statistical measurement. Actual performance is measured and compared with the target. And the number of defects, products or processes that fail to meet acceptable standard can be established to see whether the required quality standard have been achieved. Another feature of Six Sigma is that project teams are established to achieve the required improvement in processes. Project teams. These project teams consist of representatives from every department or aspect of operation that might contribute toward making the required improvements. I depend on the nature of the project. We say we are going to have a project which affected to few departments. In that case, you will get representative from few department. If it is specifically applied to one particular department, in that case, green belt members will be selected from that particular departments. The project teams are led by individuals who are specially trained in Six Sigma method, who are commonly called master black belt and green belt, according to their level of skills and knowledge of Six Sigma. Right. Shall I give a additional note on these three members? You can see no master black belt udimma inne lokuwata. Lokui kiyala pennanne is a leader, right? So maybe at the beginning of page number 21, you may write this point, right? First point, master black belt, monitor, comma, review, and mentor, black belt across 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 all projects. They are primarily teachers. Who are selected based on their quantitative skills, and on their teaching and mentoring ability. They normally hold full-time position. And the next one is about the black belt. Next point, right? Black belt hold full-time position and are extensively trained in the use of statistical and quality control tools, comma, as well as project and team management. Next, project team members are green belt, comma, which is not a full-time position. Full-time positions. Right. With that, we can complete the introduction part. Normally, what can happen in your exam is, he may test 10 mark questions, then the 4 mark may be allocated from the induction parts. From the things that which I have discussed up to now. right? He may test a 4 mark questions. From the balance part we are going to discuss will be tested 6 marks. Will be tested 6 marks from that area. Right? Right. So we'll look at about process improvement, process design with Six Sigma. Very important one. You must study this properly. Possibly a case study questions, small case study question. For the scenario given, you may be asked to identify the Six Sigma approach and explain the steps, right? Right. We looked at the Six Sigma approaches. Six Sigma approaches. Six Sigma approach can be different from two changes, two improvement. One is if you go for small improvements, the approach you are going to use will be different from major improvements. Major improvement. In other words, the major improvement mean here actually redesign of the existing system, right? Redesign of existing system, or similar may be applied with the new process also. New process. I hope that I didn't confuse you. Very simple, right? If you go for small improvement, the approach you are going to use will be different from a major improvement you are going to adopt. Major improvement, if you are going for new process actually. New process, it is similar to new process, no? දැන් තියෙන එක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් කන පිට ගහනවා නම් එතනදී apply කරන process එකයි දැන්ට තියෙන එකේ පොඩි change එකක් කරනවා නම් apply කරන process එකයි වෙනස්. right? හැබැයි අර කන පිට ගහන එකට apply කරන process එකම අපිට apply කරන්න පුළුවන් new process එකක් design කරනවා නම්. පැහැදිලි කියන කාරණේ. මේ දෙකම එකයි. එක්කෝ සම්පූර්ණයෙන් විශාල වෙනසකට යනවා නම් process එකකට apply කරන process එකයි. එහෙම නැත්නම් අලුත් process එකක් අපි design කරනවා නම් ඒ දෙකේදීම apply කරන්න එකම system එකම procedure එක. Clear? That one. මේ දෙක clear නේ? So if you are going to apply a small change, the process you are going to apply will be different from a major change. Then the next thing I have stated is, right, the process you are going to apply for new process can be applied for the new process design also. New process means new one, which is earlier not existed. Right? It is similar to a new process, no? Right? Clear? People who have understood this story, the difference. Right. Here, when you are trying to do a small improvement, we have to use 5-step process. we call DMAIC in short term. Here when you are applying for new process, the process you have to use DV process. Here DMAIC, here DMADV. If the DMAIC mean dump managers always ignore customers. That's the way I remind. I remember actually, right? Dump managers always ignore customers. I'm remembering a statement. Dump managers always ignore customers. Ignore customers. From that actually I will get the word later, right? That's the statement I remember to get that 5 word. Right? Dump managers always ignore customers. Here dump managers always destroy value. That's the statement I remember. Dump managers always destroy value. Dump managers always destroy value. Always ignore customers. Other one is dump managers always destroy value. Right. Now, I'm looking about the application side, right? In your exam, what the examiner will do is, sometime he may suggest you whether this is a small improvement or major improvement. If so, then the task is much easier. Then, in that case, you can directly apply this one and write your answers. But other option available for examiner is not telling whether it's a small change or major change. What facts are given to recognize that. That will be a little bit complicated. Huh? If the facts are given to recognize what is the approach you have to use, then you must be tricky. You must be very careful actually. You must be very careful because if you have selected a wrong approach, then you will lose all marks. Right? So if you have correctly identified the approach, then we will get the total marks. Right? Then the application side he can give for you. Right? Look at the notes. Look at the notes. The Six Sigma approach differs slightly between first one, making improvement in existing processes. Making improvement in existing processes where the required change in the process are fairly small. Small improvement in existing processes. That's the perception. Small improvement in the existing process. Second one, the design of a new process or major redesign of an existing process. Major redesign, major improvement in existing process. Right. Then Six Sigma approach to making incremental improvement in existing processes is in a 5 steps known as DMAIC. Right? DMAIC, I remember that one through a statement. The statement I have used is dump managers always ignore customers. From that, I am trying to extract the first word. Right? First letter actually. I try to extract the first letter. Then through that particular first letter, I try to develop the first word from that. That is the objective of me. Right. Then we'll look at about that 5 steps apply for existing process. Here the statement I have used is dumb managers always ignore customers. D M A I C. Here D, the first one, D mean the define an opportunity. Define an opportunity. Define an opportunity. Here M mean measure performance. Measure, M mean the measure. Measure performance. Here the A mean analyze. Analyze the opportunity. Analyze the opportunity. Here I mean improve the performance, or improve the performance. No need the O. If you want, you can use the improve performance. C mean control performance. C mean control performance. I think I am correct. Correct, no? Right. Now see, you can see some relationship also. Right? How I remember, start from the opportunity. Second one, performance. Third one, again the first one, opportunity. Last two, performance. Now, I am asking you to remember these things. Right? Today itself you can memorize that relationship. හරි නේද? එහෙම නේද තියෙන්නේ? ෆස්ට් එකේ තියෙන opportunity ඊට පස්සේ තුනේ තියෙන්නේ දෙකේ හතර පහේ තියෙන්නේ performance කියන වචනේ. හරිනේ? That's the way, no? Yes. Right. So we'll look at about them in details. The first step is define an opportunity. Is the first steps. Define an opportunity. Define an opportunity. This is a starting point. Now this is starting point. Here you are going to define the problems. The opportunity mean a problem, no? For you. You are trying to define the problem. Define the problem. Normally when you are defining the problem, you are having in the existing process, you are dealing with the existing process here, no? Existing process, it should be defined in specific and measurable form. Specific and measurable form. Clearly you have to say what is the problem you are having. And it should not be a qualitative statement. It should be shown in quantitative manner. You have to count the problem that mean. Right? For example, right, here we'll say, example, if I say there are defects in production process, what do you think about that statement, that problem? Is that specific and measurable? Doesn't say, no. What type of defects you are having? Oh, it doesn't say how many unit or some other quantity related with the process issue. Right? If I say same, there are product defects, there are product defects, in production process, average amount is 100 unit for 1 million unit per 1 million. What do you think about that? I say there are product defects in production process. You identify some product defects within the production process, and we have not only specified the issue, we have quantified it also. Now we say there are 100 unit, averagely 100 unit for 1 million, average unit. So we have the past data and we analyze, accordingly we have found normally there are 100 average unit when we produce 1 million unit. Now what do you think about this statement? Is it quantifiable? Yes, no? It is shown in quantifiable form, specific and quantified. Right. And here, on the other hand, at the starting point, at the step number 1, you will appoint a project team also. You will appoint a project team to carry out this particular exercise. Now, no need to tell about the project team compositions. Now, you have a good idea. You will have a project leader, someone, probably a black belt person, no, may act as a project leader. Then you will have green belt members who act as a project team members. They may be appointed based on the nature of the project. If it is affected to the whole organizations, in that scenario, you may have appointed project members from different department. If it is affected to or related with one particular department, in that scenario, you may appoint person from specifically from that particular departments. Right. Then the next one is measure performance. Measure performance. That is steps number 2. Under the measure performance, here you analyze the current process. You analyze the current process. Here the objective of analyzing the current process is to identify the possible causes for the defects. Possible causes for the defects. Here, why you are analyzing the current process very carefully, you want to identify what are the possible causes. Possible causes mean what are the possible contributor factors that has resulted in the problems, that has created the problems. For an example, now here our problems. Our problem is when we manufacture products, averagely we can experience 100 defects unit for 1 million unit produced. Now we look at about the current process very carefully. You may use different techniques for this purpose. For example, you may use process diagrams, flow charts to carefully identify the process. Then, right, you may use some of the data statistic you have to get an idea how it has behaved and to identify what are the contributing factors. For example, when you look at about the current processes very carefully, you may found few reasons as contributing factors. One may be, one example may be unskillful labor. That may be one contributor factor. The employees do not have a good idea or good knowledge how to perform their tasks properly. Unskillful labor, that may be one contributing factor. Or another problem may be outdated old machinery use. Outdated old machinery use. That may be another contributing factor. Outdated old machinery use, right? Then another factor may be inferior raw material use. You know, inferior mean bala kinekane, right? Inferior raw material use. Inferior raw material use. Right? Inferior raw material use. These are some of the possible causes. But remember, we are not come to a final conclusion on the exact reason for this problem until we are going for a detailed analysis of this. Here we just identify the reasons, but we are not going to make the final conclusion at this particular stage until we go for detailed analysis. Then if you look at steps number 3 is, what is step number 3? Analyze the opportunity is the steps number 3. Analyze the opportunity. Analyze the opportunity. Step number 3. Here you will look at about the reason identified under the stage number 2 in detail. These possible reason will be analyzed in details. Possible reason will be analyzed in detail. For example, this unskillful labor matter will be analyzed in details. Unskillful labor, then outdated machinery use, then inferior raw material use. Right? Now, some of the inferior raw material use may have been contributed. Then after evaluating these causes in details, you will come to a final conclusion about the possible causes. You will come to a final conclusion about the exact possible cause for this particular problem. For example, assume we identify the main contributor factor on this is not the first 2 reasons. The main reason is the inferior, we come to a conclusion, inferior raw material use, inferior raw material use. Sometime in this example I have identified one, sometime it may be few, no? And sometime you may identify two reasons, not only one, right? Right. Then the next step, step number 4 is improve performance. Improve performance. What is improve performance? Improve performance. What you will do is you will introduce the improvement into the existing process. Will introduce the improvement into the existing process. Into the existing process. For example, right, you may, right, do some adjustment, do some changes in the existing process. Example, make some changes in the existing process. If I take the same example here, the problem we had is, what is the problem we had? We identify inferior raw material use is the major contributor factor for this problem. Now, we do a small change. So what has happened is, at the beginning of the production process, we don't have a proper checking process on the raw material use. Without checking them, we put into the production process. Now we do a change here, right? The change is, we introduce a new activity before the production work. The activity is, you check the quality of the, now new activity is added. Check the quality of raw material before using it to the production process. Now probably when you purchase, no? When you purchase the raw material, you may check the quality of them. The raw material which is in the acceptable quality level will be allowed for further processing, right? Only the raw material which is in the acceptable level will be allowed for further processing. Clear? This one, right? You found the error. To avoid this error, right? What we have done is, we do a change. We introduce an improvement to the existing process. Improvement is, we introduce a check. Checking of the raw material quality before using them for the production work. Right? Then the final step is, what are the final steps? Control performance, that monitoring work. Control performance. Control performance. So what we'll do is, after some time, right, you will check whether the required performance standard has been achieved within the new improved systems, right? You say maybe after introducing this change, maybe after 1 month period, you will check whether the required improvement has been achieved. For example, what we'll do is, we'll measure the actual number of defects after 1 month period. We'll say actual number of defects is, we'll say 3 unit now. 3 unit for 1 million unit produce. 3 unit for 1 million unit produce. Now you can be happy, no? Why? So, we have met the required standard, no? Our required standard is to have less than 3.4 product defects for 1 million unit produce. This will not be ended after 1 month. What you'll do is, on continuous basis, you will do this one. You will check whether the process is running smoothly as expected. If not, again you will revisit some of the earlier steps and will do the changes. For example, we'll say you measure 50 still. There's a reduction but still 50 you need. Then again you may have to visit the causes you have identified and you may have to analyze them in detail again. Here the possible reason is not only the inferior raw material use, maybe something wrong with the unskillful labor also. Then you have to correct that also. Possibly by giving the adequate training for them. Right? This is like a story, no? This is a story. Not memorizing anything. You remember like a story. Right? Right. We'll look at the note also. Look at the note also. The Six Sigma approach to making incremental improvement in existing processes is in 5 steps known as DMAIC. I give a statement to remember: dumb managers always ignore customers. First one, D, define an opportunity. A serious problem with quality is identified. A statement is then prepared that describes the nature of the problem in specific measurable terms. Specific measurable terms. Very important 2 words are there, right? Here you try to identify the problem, no? You have to define it in specific and measurable terms. A serious problem with, a statement is prepared of what will be done to deal with the problem. This should also be expressed as a quantifiable measurement. For example, what you are going to do here to reduce that one. Here my example, average number of defects is 100 units for 1 million. Then I set a target based on that one. My target is to reduce that one to 3 million. Sorry, 3 units for 1 million. You have to identify a statement, what you want to do, right? It is better to identify in a quantitative terms, no? In my example, 3 is the quantifiable amount, no? Right? Statement is prepared of what will be done to deal with the problems. This should also be expressed as a quantifiable measurement. For example, the problem statement may be that the number of defects in a particular process is currently 1 in 1000. The mission statement may then be, then the aim should be to reduce the number of defects to no more than, you say 3 in 1 million. Make a change. Otherwise, this will not meet the example given here will not meet the Six Sigma stated, no? Am I correct? 1 for 100,000 mean how much you need for 1 million unit? 10, no? Six Sigma said should be less than 3.3, no? Therefore, we make a small changes, small change, 3 in 1 million unit. Add 1 0 and 1 should be converted into 3. Then a project team is set up to solve the problem. Now you appoint some team. Now you know, I don't want to give more detail on that, no? Based on the nature of the project, you will decide who are the project members, no? Right? For example, it is affected to one particular department, then members will be appointed from that department. It is affected to the whole organization, then you will take people from different departments. The next one is measure performance. Measure performance. Data is obtained about the current process, and the project team should measure how the process is working and obtain data that can be analyzed to identify what seem to be causing the problem. Data is obtained about the current process, and the project team should measure how the process is working and obtain data that can be analyzed to identify what should be causing the problem. You analyze the data relevant to the current process to identify the possible causes for the existing problem. This is a preliminary analysis. The project team will not make a final decision about the main causes of the problem until it has carried out a more extensive analysis. We didn't come to a final conclusion, no? We identify some reason, but we didn't come to final conclusion here. Measures of process performance are critical mean important, no? Are critical to the success of a Six Sigma programs, right? Six Sigma programs. Then the next one, analyze opportunity. Analyze opportunity. The preliminary ideas about what might be causing the problem are investigated in more detail. The root cause or causes of the problem is identified. Now you identify the main reasons. You identify that earlier reason you have identified in details and you come to a conclusion. In my example, I come to a conclusion, inferior quality of the raw material used. No? That is the reasons. Right? Then fourth one, improve performance. The cause or causes of the problems are removed by means of redesigning and improving the process that is causing the problem. See, now you are going to eliminate the problem by redesigning and improving the process that is causing the problem. What I have done, I improve the process, no? I introduce in my example, I introduce a checking part of the raw material, no? And before using for the production works. The chosen improvement is then designed in details. Before the improvement is improvement, it should be tested to prove that it will be effective. The improvement is then implemented. You check whether that is effective solutions. After that, you will implement it. Then the step number 5, control performance. New controls are designed and implemented to prevent the problem from returning and to make sure that the improvement are sustained. New control are designed and implemented to prevent the problem from returning and to make sure that the improvement are sustained. Control will include regular measurement output of the process and comparison of actual performance with the target. I give example on that, right? So maybe once in a month, no, you measure the actual result and compare with the expectations. Right. I think examiner may go with incremental improvement, but there is a possibility to go with the next one also. What is the next one? The Six Sigma approach to design a new process. So major redesign of an existing process is also in 5 steps, known as DMADV. Dumb managers always destroy value. Right. This is not an easy one to remember. Very tough one. You can't extract word like this. Therefore, that's why I told you, you can extract the first word, but the balance part can't be extracted like that. Right? So therefore, if the examiner go for a question, I believe he may go with a small improvement. But no options. We will look at about this also. DMADV process. This one, major improvement. So this can be applied in 2 scenarios. One is major change, the major improvement in the existing process. Oh, what is the other one? New process design. So we'll look at about that one in details. Right. DMA DV. DMA DV. Dumb managers always destroy value. That's the statement we have developed. So we'll try to extract the word from this. The first one is the first word is define. Define. If I extracted that one further, define the goal for the new process. Define the goals for the new process. Define the goals for the new process. Then step number two is match performance requirement with these goals. Match. M word is the match actually. Match. Earlier measure no? Here match. Match performance requirement with these goals. Performance requirement with these goals. Match performance requirement with these goals. In the steps number 3A, here the same word. Analyze the performance requirement. 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 Then number 4, D, no? Design and implement the process. Design and implement the process. Design and implement the process. Implement the process. Number 5 is, what the word? We know. Verify performance. Verify performance. Verify performance. Right. Little bit tricky, right? Listen very carefully. Now think this one from new process point of view. Then it's much easier. You are going to design a new process or major rechange. Right? Here, look at the first point. Define the goal for the new process. If you are going to have a new process within your organization, the first thing you have to decide is what are the goals you want to achieve from the new process. If I take a very simple example, I will take a bank example. That is much easier for me to explain, right? So I will go with the actual major rechange, right? Major change actually, major change, right? Now the process I'm going to have is customer deposits. I'm going to, we'll say regarding a new branch, I'm going to establish a new branch. For them, I want to design a system to deposit money, customer deposits, right? Here my goals is, I have few goals regarding this. I have experience regarding other branches also. One of the objective of me is to enhance customer satisfactions. Enhance customer satisfactions. That may be the main goal actually. Related with that one, I will identify some sub goals. One is reduce time taken to deposit money Then other one is reduce the customer complaint. Sometimes customer complaints may be there, no? When you have a manual process, right? There may be some customer complaint about the amount they have deposit. Reduce number of customer complaints. Reduce the number of customer complaints. Reduce the number of customer complaints. Right, those are the objectives I have, goals. Right. Then what I will do is, next thing is match performance requirement with these goals. Right, match performance requirement with these goals. Now what I will do is, to make sure these goals are delivered, right? To make sure or to ensure these goals are delivered, I will identify some performance indicators. I will set some performance indicators, performance target actually, performance target, or in other words, KPIs. KPIs which allow them to achieve these goals. For example, I will set a KPI regarding the deposit, time taken to deposit money. I will say average time is 5 minutes. That's the objective. I know from the normal processes it will take 30 minutes, but in new process here, I want to make sure customer is able to deposit money within 5 minutes, right? Within 5 minutes. Averagely, customer can take only 5 minutes. Then reduce the number of customer complaints. I want to make sure number of customer complaints will be, will say 1, less than 1. 1 for 1 million customer transactions. We'll say 3. I don't have issue, no. I can say 3. 3 for 1 million customer transactions, number of customer complaints. Right, 3 for 1 million customer transactions. Now here, what is the objective of setting these KPIs or performance target? Right? So these performance target help to achieve the goals, to measure them. Right? We set this performance target. Now see these two examples. First one related with this, no? This one. Second one related with this, no? When you cover both two, actually this is the main one, no? Main one is automatically delivered, no? Clear? Right? Then the next thing is analyze the performance requirement. Right. Then what we'll do is, this performance requirement, these are the requirements we have, no? We will analyze these requirements in details. Performance requirement will be analyzed in details. And not only that, what we'll do is, here actually we'll identify possible alternative option we have. Possible alternative option we have to design the new systems. Alternatives will be considered. Alternative options of the new process will be considered. Alternative option for new system will be considered. System alternatives or process alternatives will be considered, and what we'll do is we will evaluate these possible alternatives. By evaluating these alternatives, you will select the best system option. We'll select the best system alternatives. Best system alternative will be selected. If I go example here, right? So regarding this requirement, I may look at about few technological solutions, right? or manual solutions. One of the manual solution I will look at about this manual solution is to have more counters. Have more counters. Have more counters. Right? If you can have more counters, what you can do? Right? You can reduce, no? The average time customer is waiting, no? Right? More counters. Or I may look at about technological solutions. Technological solution is to introduce a CDM machines. CDM machines. The manual work will be done through a machinery. Right? So we'll suppose we evaluate these options and we select this one as the best. We look at about the returns. When you look at the first option, actually we found we can achieve the second objective, second goal. But the problem is still we have a doubt whether the third one will be achieved. Number of customer complaint will be reduced. Right? Therefore, but when you look at a CDM machine, assume it helps us to reduce the time taken to deposit money. At the same time, it reduces the number of customer complaint also. Right? Therefore, we thought this one is the best options. Right? CDM machine. Then what we'll do? The new process design, what you have identified, will be designed in details. The solution process design. Process will be designed in details. Process will be designed in details. Right. Process will be designed in details, and you will do the implementation and implement it. Implement it. Here the CDB machine, actually nothing to worry. Much designing is not required. Right? You may purchase the machines, no, and install it in my options actually. No requirement to have a detailed design. Then the final steps is verify performance. That's the control part actually. This is similar to the fifth step in earlier process. Right? Similar to fifth stage steps in earlier process. Verify performance mean, again what we'll do is, on a regular basis, we will measure the actual performance and check whether expected result is achieved. For example, we'll say after 1 month period. After 1 month period, we will check the average time customer take. We'll say it's 3 minutes. Fantastic. Then number of customer complaint has reduced for 1 million transactions. Now no problem. සල්ලි ලක්ෂයක් ඩිපොසිට් කළා හැබැයි 50000යි තිබ්බේ කියලා කිව්වා කවුන්ටර් එකේ නා ඒ වගේ ප්‍රශ්න ඉන්නේ නැහැ. You can completely avoid that, no? Those problems. Right? So verify performance. If expected performance is not achieved, then again you want to go back to the earlier stages and do some changes. People who have understood this story, people who have understood, this is a little bit tough, huh? If you have any doubt, right, please come and talk with me, right? මොන හරි doubt තියාගන්න එපා. Doubts තියෙනවා නම් ඇවිල්ලා කතා කරන්න. Right, we look at about the notes. The notes upper step is define the goals for the new process. The goals and target quality standard of the new process must be defined. Customer requirement and expectation should be taken into consideration when defining these goals. See, customer requirement and expectation. See, in relation to these deposits, what I have done, I look at about the customer requirement, no? Customer expectation were considered. For example, customer want to deposit money within short period of time. They want to ensure that there are no issues, complaint regarding the deposit amount. Based on that, I set the goals. Then the second one, match performance requirement with these goals. The next step is to develop a set of performance measurement. See this one? Develop a set of performance measurement. That means performance target, you are going to set performance target. Quantified performance target. Quantified performance target. See, in my example, I set some quantified performance target. One of the performance target I have set is to deposit money averagely within 5 minutes. The second one is to make sure the number of complaints is less than 3 for 1 million transactions. Right? That will enable the goal for the process to be achieved. That will enable the goal for the process to be achieved. Connected with the goals, no? Now see, look at this first one. Average time that enable to achieve the second goals, no? Then second second performance measurement that allow to achieve the third goals. Then when 2 and 3 are fulfilled automatically, first goal is fulfilled. Right? ඔය තනියෙන් කිව්වට තේරෙන්නේ with example දැන් මම මේ connect කරද්දි තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේ කතාව තේරෙන්නේ හරියට. The next one is analyze the performance requirement. Analyze the performance requirement. These performance standards for the new process must be analyzed. Based on this analysis, a preliminary design for a new process is developed. A preliminary design also for a new process is developed. Shall I give some additional sentence on this regarding that stage? Maybe at the beginning of page number 23, you can write some notes on that. At this stage, different design alternatives are considered. Different design alternatives are considered. At the end of this stage, design alternative is selected. Design alternative is selected after careful evaluations of different options. After careful evaluation of different options, and a preliminary design for a new process is also developed. And a preliminary design for a new process is also developed. In the steps number 4, design and implement the process. The preliminary design for the new process is developed into a more detailed design, and new process is then implemented. Then verify performance. After the new process has been implemented, control and checks should be introduced to confirm that the required performance targets are met and that the goals of the process are successfully achieved. Write example here. Regular measurement of output from the process. And a comparison of actual performance with the targets. Right. Then we'll move to a few MC questions also quickly. Few MCQ questions. Select this question. Question number 10. Question number 10. Question number 12. Question number 13. Question number 25. Question number 26. 25 and 26. Select answers for those questions. Select the answers. Right. Question number 10. In Six Sigma, which pieces of information are required to calculate defects for million opportunities? Actually, all three. D, A, B, and C. A, B, and C. All three are required. Then number 12, in Six Sigma, DMIZ stand for define, measure, analyze, improve, control. No? B. B, 13, very simple. No? A Six Sigma program usually required all of the following except C, Karate trained black belt. Then question number 25, which of the following is not considered part of total quality? D actually, Six Sigma. All other three are part of Six Sigma, TQM actually. Six Sigma is a separate techniques. No? Question number 26, all of the following relate to Six Sigma except measures defects for unit. නෑනේ අපි කලේ මොකද්ද? අයිතර වචන හරියට කියවන්න measures defects for unit නෙමෙයිනේ අපි කලේ. Measures what? Measures defect for 1 million unit, no? Right? 3.4 defects, no? So that's the error B. Right. So with that, we can complete the day work, right? And thank you very much for staying whole day with the theory, no? Tough job, no? Right. Then we'll meet with the project management in the usual class.